Until the Capitals won the Stanley Cup last summer, Washington, D.C. sports were pretty underwhelming. Take your pick for who the most aggravating was, the Wizards, the Nationals, or the Washington Native Americans? But there's one team in D.C. you're probably not familiar with that's easily the most inept of the bunch, the Washington Generals. They're a basketball team, so some of the more ignorant people watching this video are gonna be like, oh, but no, the Wizards are DC's basketball team. Yep, that's an accurate representation of what some of you guys are gonna be like. The Generals are the basketball team that loses to the Harlem Globetrotters literally every time. In their Wikipedia bio, the word Stooges was used to describe them.
Let me get this straight. You took all the money you made franchising your name and bet it against the Harlem Globetrotters? I thought the Generals were due!
Their last win was in 1971, and it was by accident. This happened where the Globetrotters lost track of the score and let the game get too far away from them to come back. And to top it all off, a 50-year-old man hit the game-winning basket for the Generals. He had more ice in his veins than the entire Houston Rockets roster in Game 7. The guy went on to say the crowd acted like the Generals killed Santa Claus. One of the craziest aspects of that game was that they weren't even called the Washington Generals at the time. They were the New Jersey Reds, like Chris Christie. That means that the Generals' name hasn't beaten the Globetrotters since 1958. Talk about trusting the process. It's been 60 whole years since the name Washington Generals have played and won a game against the Globies. That's almost twice the age of current LA Rams head coach Sean McVay. By the way, fun fact, Sean McVay, on one of the greatest football games I've ever seen, coached against Andy Reid, who is almost twice his age. One more idiosyncrasy about the General's name, it came from former US President and General Dwight D. Eisenhower, proving that to this day, we still like Ike. And we all should know about how teams whose name were inspired by actual people fare. The Generals actually have ex-NBA talent running their team too. Their coach played a couple seasons in the league, and their GM is Kenny the Jet Smith of all people.
This is not the same General teams. We're coming for them. This is not the same General team.
Yeah, that Kenny the Jet Smith. Kenny has drafted Conor McGregor, LeVar Ball, and LiAngelo Ball while running the Generals. Pretty safe to say those picks haven't worked out, as none of those people have even stepped on the court for them. Conor McGregor kinda has an excuse though, since he's out pursuing a pro football career. However, there are still memories for die-hard Generals fans to cherish. We did some research for this video, and an article for NBC Sports says the Generals have beaten a, quote, lower-level Red Army team and the Taiwanese national team, although it doesn't specify as to when these were. What does that mean for the Taiwanese national basketball team, by the way, if they lost to the Washington Generals? Regardless, we don't care. We support the Generals here and encourage their fan base to look back on their wins with a smile on their face. I'm a Mets fan. I identify with Generals fans. I've been through some suffering, if you will, at the hands of my favorite team, so I'm out there saying, Generals fans, keep pushing on. I'll support you, at least for myself. And look, they're due for another win anyway. Maybe their next game will be the most memorable win to date. But until then, the world is allowed to make fun of you guys for winning like 5 times in 60 years. Come on, that still happened and we're not forgetting that. If the Browns don't get a pass, neither do you.
He's spinning the ball on his finger! Just take it! Take the ball!
I call the shots, I run the balls, I'm Michael Jordan. Hit it with a little bit of push and a little bit of pull when a goddamn mic recording. I bring the heat, I rep the east, I like the south, so I don't even know what to do with the gold that I get, bitch, I'm Michael Phelps. I'm like LeBron, I get the gold, I'm Sherry Khan, yo, carry bronze, I'm Randy Moss, I'm Mary Khan, my game on Royce, I'm Barry Bonds.